Hi, I'm the Rap Critic. Let's talk about memes. Now, as soon as this video came out, it was instantly memed. I mean, the damn thing wasn't even on YouTube yet, and I had already seen like half of it on Imgur, which means that some people out there had to like subscribe to Apple Music and just have their Photoshop or whatever open, just waiting for someone to have a video worth making fun of. It's really kind of impressive, actually. But here's my thing. I really don't see what's so bad about his dancing. Like, I get that it's funny, but so what? He's dancing goofy to his song. That's his jam. What's wrong with that? Oh, I'm sorry he's not fucking Alvin Ailey out this bitch, but when was the last time we really looked towards rappers for dance moves?
Fuck with us and then we tweaking, ho.
Oh yeah. And by the way, yes, I am going to review this blatant R&B song because fuck it, if he can have half of his discography be R&B songs and still be considered a rapper, I can review this and still be considered a rap critic. Now, when I first heard this joint, I had no problem with it. I actually like the little organ it has in there. Kinda reminds me of the wait music you hear while on a call. Pretty befitting of the song title. So what is this song about? Well, let's check it out. So the video opens up on what I can only assume is a sex talk hotline office, where all the women are dressed exactly the same, which doesn't really seem like that should be a requirement for a medium where people literally can't see you. But hey, what do I know? But then we go to a completely different setting and literally never come back to that opening scene until the very last seconds of the video. What's the point? Is there some sort of connection between that place and this one? Is Drake inside of the phone? Is this what the inside of a phone looks like?
You used to call me on my cell phone late night when you need my love.
So the song's about a past relationship with a girl, because of course it is. Although it doesn't sound like that relationship was really meaningful. I mean, when the absolute main thing you can say about it is that she called you late nights for sex, I'm gonna go ahead and wager you weren't planning on meeting the family anytime soon.
And I know when that hotline blink, that can only mean one thing.
That's right, it's 2 a.m., she's feeling frisky, time to go over and make some sweet, sweet conversations about social problems based on historical biases. Oh yeah.
Ever since I left the city, you got a reputation for yourself now.
So as we get into the verse, we switch back to the present, where Drake has left his hometown and this girl in his rearview mirror, touring all over the world. But in that time, the girl in question has gotten a reputation. Well, that's oddly nebulous. Are we just supposed to assume that she became a prostitute or something? Well, I'm gonna be positive. Maybe he's saying, man, things sure have changed and you're doing better for yourself now. Congratulations.
Girl, you got me down, you got me stressed out.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. So what's the problem, Drake? What's got you concerned for her well-being?
Cause ever since I left the city, you started wearing less and going out more.
Oh man, a woman wearing less clothes since you stopped seeing her. Oh, you know what that means. I mean, it could be like it's the summertime and she's going to the beach, but it could also mean that she like wants to attract people. Or maybe I cut him off too soon. Maybe there's something else going on. I mean, sometimes you leave a city and come back and you find someone's doing really bad for themselves and you saw that they had so much potential and promise, but now it's all being squandered and you just want to know where it all went wrong. And you blame yourself because you think, man, maybe I could have been there to help. Maybe this is a person that needed my help and I was so busy I just didn't know they were falling from grace. Well, what is it? What's got you feeling down in the dumps about her path in life?
Glasses of champagne out on the dance floor.
So what's got you feeling bad about your absence in her life is the fact that she's in a position now where she can afford champagne? Okay.
Hanging with some girls I never seen before.
And also what's got you just hanging your head in disappointment is the fact that ever since you left for months and maybe years on end to advance your career, she had the nerve to go out and continue making friends with people? Yeah, I'm not saying what the problem is here. Well, I guess they just have different philosophies. You see, Drake here is all about no new friends.
No new friends, no new friends, no new friends, no.
Yeah, you remember this song, right? About how he's only down with people that were with him from day one? Yeah, apparently to him, you can only hang out with and work with people that you knew from freaking infancy, and anyone other than that is untrustworthy and wrong to work with. Well, excuse her, Drake, but some of us didn't happen to go to the same elementary school as Kanye West, Usher, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, Rihanna, and Nicki Minaj, as you apparently have. Some of us have to network.
Ever since I left the city, you and me, we just don't get along.
Okay, maybe it's just that since they've been apart, they've grown apart. They've developed different interests and they don't gel well anymore. They've got nothing in common. It happens.
You made me feel like I did you wrong.
Whoa, wait, hold on. Where's this coming from? I mean, so far you haven't given us really evidence that she's done or said anything to spite you. From what you've told us so far, it sounds like she just continued living her life. And I'm just gonna go out on a limb here, and I know we're only getting her perspective right now, but if you feel the need to, unprovoked, say to her that you're making me feel like I did something wrong, my first assumption is that, well, maybe you did. I mean, have you ever considered that? Maybe somewhere along the line you made a mistake, man, and instead of seeing that thing you did as a mistake, you took it as just the way things are, like most people do. You made an assumption about something, for instance, and didn't bother to ask her how she felt about it. It's a common problem. Relationship advice with Rap Critic.
Going places where you don't belong.
Okay, well, where are these places that, according to you, she doesn't belong?
Why you never alone? Why you always touch and roll? Used to always stay at home, be a good girl.
And why do I get the strange feeling that this good girl box that you've put her in might kind of have something to do with the idea of you doing her wrong? I mean, am I the only one getting that feeling? Seriously, what the fuck kind of lyric is that in 2015? Yeah, any goodwill I had for the catchy chorus and infectious beat gets drowned out by the third verse, where Drake just goes into full-on whine fest.
These days, all I do is wonder if you're bending over backwards for someone else.
Wait, hold up. Usually when someone says bending over backwards for you, that usually connotates to someone like going through great pains and anguish to please someone. And what he says here is, man, I wonder if you're doing that for someone else. And with the inclusion of this next line,
wonder if you're rolling up a backwards for someone else.
The assumption I'm making is that these were things she used to do for him, but doesn't anymore. And other than hooking up for late night sex, we're not really given any indication of what your relationship was actually like so far. And so the first real indication of that dynamic as partners was the fact that she was bending over backwards for you. And you knew that she was doing that. And apparently enjoyed that. Well, then again, he does talk about a lot of relationships with strippers in his music, so he could just be referring to a dance move, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of a doubt.
Doing things I taught you getting nasty for someone else.
Then again,
why you never alone? Why you always touch and roll?
Yeah, why you're always talking to people and being sociable and traveling to other places and talking to other people and being sociable there. You shouldn't be doing that because, you know, because you're a woman. I mean, because it's just not you, you know? And I'm not kidding. That's pretty much what he says for the rest of the song.
You don't need no one else. You don't need nobody else, no.
Well, you never indicated in the song that you tried to keep in contact with her or anything, so what, when you left, you were expecting her to just be waiting on a cliff next to a lighthouse for your ship to return?
Used to always stay at home, be a good girl, you was in the zone.
Is that what being in the zone means to you? Because according to you and what you wish she was doing, being in the zones means staying at home, wearing modest sweaters to cover up your body, and not talking to anybody that you don't know. I mean, according to you, Granny from Looney Tunes is in the zone.
You should just be yourself. Right now you're someone else.
I really kind of can't believe this is existing right now. Maybe like in 1958 I could imagine this sort of mentality being acceptable, but okay, like first off, someone complaining about a once close friend going out on the road and hanging out with new people all the time. See, at first I thought maybe the second verse was her talking to him. And that might have worked. Hell, he's an internationally known rapper. Of course he's going all around the world. And maybe this girl back home wishes he would come back home and kick it like they used to. But no, it's actually him complaining about her. The international world-traveling rapper is complaining to an old flame that she's the one who's touching the road too much. Get all the way out of my face with this shit. And then there's all this nonsense about how being a social, successful person just isn't you. And he tries to make it about a personality type, like, oh, you're an introvert pretending to be an extrovert just to compensate for me leaving. But I call bullshit. And the inclusion of that good girl line proves it. Seriously, who still says that in fucking public anymore? I can only imagine saying that to my daughter or something. Matter of fact, no, I can only imagine saying that to my fucking dog. I don't know, that just seems kind of patronizing and condescending, like you know what's best for them. I don't know, maybe people are cool with it. Let me try it. Hey, Jess.
Yeah?
Could you be a good girl and...
I'll be a good girl and punch you in your fucking face if you say that again.
Yeah, see, I figured. And let me be clear here, I don't have a problem with the topic in general. The Jilted Lover song is great when done right, but you have to give enough detail to get us on your side. There's plenty of songs that deal with someone breaking up and having a hard time getting over it, especially if the other person was at fault. In fact, that's usually the way it works. If the fault is on the singer, they're more repenting, but if the fault is on the one they're singing about, there's more anger in the delivery. This song does neither. It's this strange deal where it comes across as judging the person he's singing about as the problem, but without saying what the problem is on her end. But then, ironically, goes on to accidentally showcase why the problem was most likely with him. And whereas if this was done on purpose, it could be seen as a clever misdirection of storytelling. But here, it seems like he genuinely doesn't understand how he could have been the one that fucked things up.
You made me feel like I did you wrong.
Ever heard the phrase, "the guilty dog will bark"? Hey, I know it's just a stupid dance song, and you know what? I give it a 2 out of 5. Look, if this was just a simple song about hooking up, I wouldn't care, but it's not. And it's not even about how they broke up and he's remorseful for the love that they had and wishes he could start over. No, this is a song about how he's mad that he couldn't just leave for a few years, come back into town, and snap his fingers for her to be right back under his thumb again. And that's kind of off-putting for me. And I wanted to like it for its aforementioned cool beat and catchy vocal lines that I actively enjoy listening to, on the chorus as well as in the first 2 verses. But where those first 2 verses are alright enough, if kind of vague, when it gets all drowsy and goes into the deep Drake-isms, I start to tune out. Because that last one takes being unhappy about the way a relationship has gone and makes it look pathetic in the worst way possible, by not knowing just exactly how pathetic it sounds. I mean, just look at him in this music video. Yeah, here's a fun summertime song that in no way just painted me as a needy, entitled, hypocritical douchebag. Someone go meme that shit. Anyway, I'm the Rap Critic. You don't have to like my opinion, but I don't have to like your song.